Hey, Plug-in India guys, I'm here to do a test ride at King of Prussia Mall thanks to the Tesla store and May here. And the first thing, it's a very cool feature we are going to observe is the handles. If we come away, the handles will go in. But okay, now as we go closer, you can see that the handles will come out. And it's called greeting handles?
Yes, yeah.
See, as you see, okay.
And it is recognizing your right and your left. The speed is set at 50 miles. And you can see both the icons are lit up and clear.
Nice. Can you see my hands out there?
Stop at the same second. You don't hit your foot on the brake.
Nope.
Don't hit your foot on the
Oh, I have not hit brake. It has completely come to stop.
This is an autopilot feature that allows for you to come to a complete stop.
It's scary almost,
Yeah.
you know. Okay, so we saw greeting handles and we were just talking how Mr. Elon Musk was very enthusiastic. And I read an article somewhere that he talked about the philosophy of, you know, a different level of interaction between man and machine. Like, you know, it's not that you go and do something to machine only then it responds. It's like the
Sure.
machine that is waiting
For you
something.
to also interact with it. Yeah, that's also a really great point. So
Very interesting. And this is Model S. We are going to take a test drive in. So
yeah, and with the key fob, of course, you have many functions with being able to hold the rear, which is your latch
opens the
gate for
trunk.
the trunk,
Okay.
as well as the front. This one.
and that
So this
opens
is the
the front
key
hood.
fob. It's like a little car.
Oh, okay, that does look like a little car. Very cool.
Of course, with every Tesla, this is signature, your frunk.
The front. And they say it's good enough to have your golf bag in.
Golf
Yeah.
bag, groceries,
Groceries,
additional
perfect.
luggage.
Yeah, and clearly it provides a large crumple zone, making this a very safe vehicle.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
This car is very new. Smell the new car smell. This must have just came out of
Yeah.
Fremont.
Oh, wow.
Mobile connector.
Okay, mobile connector and more additional storage, I guess.
Correct. Yeah. It's the hideaway cargo.
Okay.
You can also remove this with any Model S so that you can actually create more storage space if need be.
Okay.
And then these seats actually fold down entirely, so if you really want to utilize it more utilitarian, you could actually fold down the seats.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's a running joke that some Teslas have been used as Airbnbs.
So as you can see, the back seat completely folds down and you have like really a lot of cargo space. Actually, just last week I read an article about how a guy was camping in his Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just like pull it slightly and then...
There is a push button for the trunk
Okay.
hatch.
Uh-huh.
So there's always an external button, as well
Okay.
as on your key fob. You can also
I
close
see.
it.
Great.
Just rest it in the car. You can place it in a
Okay.
drop compartment here. The car then would recognize, Kedar, you sitting in the driver's seat.
Okay.
So at that point, the car is actually turning on. It still yet says car is off because there's no ignition
Okay.
or crank sensor.
Right, right.
So in order to actually start the car, you can adjust everything from your seating.
Oh, okay.
On your left-hand side here, you have your seating adjustment. So if you're comfortable, you can leave
Right,
it at that
yeah,
profile
okay.
setting.
Uh-huh.
For every driver, the moment you enter your car, you can set a profile name.
Okay.
So this way you have additional profile options to add for every driver.
I see.
Every
okay.
spouse, you can adjust the steering wheel
Oh, okay.
to also adjusting the options for your apps.
Nice.
And in your driver profile, you can add additional drivers. You can obviously change the format setting if you're used to seeing it in kilometers versus miles in the States.
Right, right. Okay, cool.
This actually talks a little bit more about how you can enhance those features with the key fob and the door settings. So if you want child lock for a mother driving, you can keep it on that profile.
Okay.
And then if you're driving with colleagues, you can have it on your profile to not have that feature set.
I see. Okay.
So it's very customizable for each driver.
Awesome. Very cool.
And you don't have to go back through and reset all of the features on the display and other additional options.
Okay. Okay.
These are just some of the safety and security options.
Okay.
Your Tesla is also synced to a Tesla app.
Okay, I see.
So it actually allows you to have additional features and controls
Oh,
on your
okay.
car.
I see. Okay,
Anything
okay.
from turning it on to unlocking the car through your Tesla
Really?
app.
Nice.
If you don't have your key fob.
If I don't have my key fob. Okay. Okay.
And so there are security settings for that. Again, it's this little Tesla app that gets synced once you pick up your car and it's delivered.
I see. Okay.
And you take ownership of your car. It'll go through corporate and they'll sync it for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you have some really fun features. You can actually honk your horn. You can lock the doors.
I see.
You can have it on multiple cars. This one is, obviously it's a corporate account.
Right.
So we have multiple cars on here.
Okay.
But for your account, you would have your car, and then any other notifications. So it's a very user-friendly app,
Okay.
and it's definitely a really nice convenience to have in addition to your key fob.
Okay.
In addition to that, you can also monitor where that car is at all times.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So it does allow you to see GPS capability of where your car is at.
Sweet. Okay.
I've heard some couples who say it's nice because one spouse is cooking dinner and she can see that the husband is on his way home.
Okay.
So you can start to see where the Tesla is at prior to him getting home.
Cool. Very cool.
Which could be good or bad for
Good,
some people.
good. I was thinking about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Why are you at that location?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be.
I know. Could get some people into trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. So so if you don't have your key fob on you, you have an additional backup through your Tesla app.
Okay, nice.
This home link is set for garage purposes. So if you're going to park your Tesla in a garage, you can set it where it will sync to your garage opener.
Okay.
So when you're actually pulling up to your home location, your Tesla and the garage door opener will sync together, so it'll open it for you, which then allows you to use the self-parking feature for Summon.
Okay.
You can actually have your car drive into the garage area for you.
Oh, so you just get here and you get out and ask the car to park.
Yes.
And then it'll open the door, park itself.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
There's some online YouTube versions of that.
Okay.
And again, that is a feature that is set through autopilot
Okay.
software when you have your upgrade.
Okay.
Which will also be available on Model 3.
Okay.
And when you take delivery, ownership of your Tesla, they'll work with you to answer all of the questions that you have about autopilot and its capabilities. So you would have to read through all of this.
I see. Okay.
So that's auto steer, which is just the steering that is capable to steer by itself. Auto lane change.
Okay.
The summon feature, which allows you to park itself.
Nice.
So you can also adjust that. So if you wanted to make sure that you have at least 20 inches.
You can set the clearance.
Correct.
Okay.
Standard setting, or if you're in a tight area.
Okay.
So all of that is capable through autopilot.
Nice. Okay.
Lane assist, and that's your side collision warning. Lane departure warning.
Yeah.
It'll shake up the wheel slightly, just like you would have in other luxury cars that have those type of avoidance collision features.
Okay.
The speed assist is where you would actually be able to also display, because through your navigation is picking up on the speed limit around you at all times.
Okay.
So you can have it in relative, so this way if you set it by 5 miles above the speed limit, it'll pop up when you're going about 5 miles above the speed limit.
I see.
Or you can have it on a chime setting, and it'll start giving you little
Chime.
prompts.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The collision avoidance setting, we have it on a medium setting. Anywhere from late to medium is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It'll continue to flash you if it recognizes you as a Tesla driver. If you're not braking, and it recognizes that there's cars in front of you.
Obstacle. Okay.
It will then, of course, brake for you.
Okay.
If it recognizes you're not braking and it recognizes that there's a car in front of you.
I see. I see. Okay.
Your digital manual as well.
Nice.
So everything that you'd want to know about your car, you can easily tab through here.
Sweet. Okay.
It talks about your mobile connector for charging as well.
Uh-huh.
And just some of the warranty coverages on your car.
Okay.
There's always given to you also a quick guide.
Mm-hmm.
So for you as an owner, you can read through or thumb through anything that you're unsure of, and you can quickly go through your booklet as well.
I see.
And then in addition to having a Tesla, you have your 24-hour roadside assistance, as well as technical support.
Okay.
So once you take ownership of your car, if you had any questions and you forgot how to use a feature or you're unsure, and at all times you can contact that number.
Sweet. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. So that's the owner's manual.
And as we can see, there is like plenty of legroom and very spacious car. And as you can see, there is no transmission in the middle.
Right. It's just a flat floor.
Flat and clean and clutter free.
Makes it very nice and easy for the second row passengers to ride comfortably.
Yeah.
We're looking at a sunroof model as well, and it's a really nice open sunroof. In a Tesla, all the options are in very nice percentage and drags.
Okay. Sweet.
So you
So
completely open
she's
it.
controlling it just from here, just from the dashboard panel. So it just opens.
So there's no exterior buttons on the headliner.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no buttons where you would have to shut it from there.
Yeah, sometimes you look at this and say like, why nobody else thought of this? You know?
Right.
It just makes everything.
It's just so
Otherwise you're, like,
streamlined,
looking
exactly,
around,
for all the other options.
Yeah.
So this is their standard 17-inch monitor, which is the same monitor size used for the Model X and S. And the Model 3, we have yet to hear the exact spec and scope of that display, as well as Model 3.
Nice.
But similarities in the functions. So as we go through additional settings before we start to drive, Kedar, your steering wheel tension is either comfort, standard, or sport. A sport is actually pretty good tension, so this will change the tension of the wheel.
Okay.
And then the creep mode acts as if you are in a gas car, so when you take your foot off of the brake, it'll start to roll forward slightly. Otherwise, in an all-electric car, the car doesn't move unless you hit the accelerator.
Right, that's what we saw, and we took a test drive for i3, BMW i3.
Sure.
And when you release the accelerator, it really as if you're braking it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually the Regen braking as well. So there's a standard setting in that. And that's pulling off of the dual motors.
Okay.
So when you take your foot off of the accelerator, the dual motors are going to power down. And that acts like a braking system for you.
Okay.
This acts like a gas system where it's going to start rolling.
I see. Okay.
So almost two opposites, but the standard setting, it allows you to almost feel as if your Tesla is going into a neutral mode.
Okay.
So once you drive maybe half a day, you'll really get adjusted to the timing of the standard Regen braking.
Okay.
The car will start to brake, and you barely have to hit your actual brake pedal. So it has a really nice functionality.
Nice.
And then there's also low settings, so you can change it to low setting for those who are not familiar with that and find it not comfortable. Anytime these options are in blue, you can change it. Once they're in gray, you can't change these options.
The standards software user interface.
Right.
Convention.
So this actually goes into the e-brake system. So this is through federal regulations letting you know that your car actually has an electronic brake system, and you don't ever have to pull a manual brake. The manual emergency brake.
Okay, I see.
So once your car powers off, it's on an electronic brake system.
Okay, I see.
And this actually kind of monitors your entire trip system. You can reset it for every trip, so it acts as if it's your odometer.
Okay.
This is the cold weather Sub-Zero package.
Oh.
Obviously, in colder states like in Pennsylvania, it's nice to have. You can have a heated steering wheel.
Oh, I can totally start feeling it the moment you did that.
It works perfectly.
Okay.
Otherwise, just the driver and passenger side has the heated seating.
Okay. Okay.
And then this way, you also have heated seating for the second row passengers.
Okay.
If you don't have the Sub-Zero package.
I see.
Let's see. So, in this model in particular, it does not have the Smart Air suspension. So, which means it's a standard suspension system.
Okay.
Coil and wishbone. Otherwise, for the upgrades that you do select, it would be, you would see that here in the driving portion of that, and that way you would actually see what options you have.
Oh.
So for any of those additional upgrades for Smart Air suspension, you would see that here, so you could adjust the suspension.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not in this model, but
So we saw that in Model X that we took a
Sure.
test drive. There was a way you can also set, like, you know, if there is like a speed bump you're hitting regularly, then it automatically goes up. So it's part of that smart suspension, I presume?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So that's one of the nice upgrades if you have to consider that for specific areas that you drive a lot.
Okay.
It's nice to have that feature. Otherwise, it's your standard coil wishbone suspension.
Okay.
Okay, and then if we get into that first row, again, this is how you lock the doors from the inside.
Okay.
This is actually telling you just your battery percentage
191.
right now.
I
Yeah.
see, okay.
And for any Tesla owner, we'll obviously educate you better onto how to use to charge your lithium-ion battery. And it's always set at about 90% as opposed to 100%. It creates a better lifespan for your battery usage. Yeah. Okay, so let's turn on our headlights since it's a little bit gray today.
Okay.
We'll get adjusted in here, and we have the ambient lighting in here.
Okay.
So it's a premium option where you can have some interior lighting, which is nice and soothing if you're on nighttime drives.
I agree. And what is auto high beam? There was auto high
The auto high beam is so that anytime you're in an open road where there's not cars in front of you, it will go into an auto high beam.
Awesome. That's such a simple feature. That's really nice to have.
Absolutely.
Because I drive a lot to Virginia.
Oh,
and
sure.
some of the roads are like totally empty, and I'm always worried about hitting a deer or something.
Yeah, and exactly where you have to constantly monitor your auto high beam.
Yeah.
So the auto high beam allows for the car to adjust itself.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course it's Slacker radio, which is a really nice internet selection.
Okay.
You can literally play music from any country around the world.
Cool.
And it's comparable to XM radio, so it's available and for free for a 4-year subscription with your Tesla purchase.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You're able to also play into your FM and AM stations. And then, of course, your internet radio. And there's a lot of options. So as far as the categories of music, you're not short of music options.
Okay.
Whenever you see these little broken tabs here, you can actually scroll over as well.
Okay.
So if we get into where you can also Bluetooth sync your media off of your device.
Yeah, okay.
There's no longer any auxiliary cord.
Oh, okay.
This is a Bose system here.
Oh, Bose system, okay. Very good.
Yeah. It's a pretty nice sound system.
Good.
And then, of course, with your Tesla, everything's a very nice, easy drag again in order to adjust the system. You can allow for your guests to listen to more music.
Oh,
Or you can obviously keep it in the middle for everybody.
nice. So if you're only one driving in the night, then you can just set it for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And that's just where you're putting the speakers.
Okay.
Okay, and then of course your navigation here.
Okay.
which
Probably
allows
the
you
most
to.
frequently used.
Yes, it's usually, you're right. Between these two screens is usually what people want to
Right.
have pop up all the time.
Right.
Your music, your navigation, and your voice on your telephone app are the three apps that allows you to sync your voice command off of the steering wheel,
Oh, okay.
so that you can give voice commands instead of you as a driver feeling like you have to constantly reach back over here if you're
okay.
driving by yourself.
Nice.
So
nice.
it is a really nice feature for that reason. Of course, you can also toggle the screen. There's little gray tabs here, so it allows you to toggle the screen, or you can keep it on a full screen here.
Okay. Okay.
And then, of course, you can also see the kilowatt usage here.
Okay.
And that's going to kind of give you a gauge as a Tesla driver, if that's something you really want to monitor,
Okay.
the kilowatt usage on average that you're driving.
I see.
Your web browser here,
Uh-huh.
which does not become disabled if you're driving.
Okay.
So that will continue to stay active.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. And this is also an AT&T connectivity.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're also able to tether that to any handheld device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
okay.
just saw that. It does work. Let's just.
So you actually, I mean, the Tesla tethers to your phone, and then your phone has to be connected to internet. Is that how it is working? Or-
Right. If you have a hotspot from your telephone,
Okay.
you can actually tether
Okay. Okay.
the Wi-Fi connectivity to your phone.
I see.
But of course, if you're running off at AT&T towers, it's probably a better connection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
So it has its own ability to connect also, but it can also
Correct.
tether.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. As well as you would also want to, whenever you have software updates, it happens overnight, and that's where you would see what's being updated in your next software.
Excellent.
You'd want to do that overnight, so you can actually time that. You can
Right.
have it set on, a software update at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You can sync it to your home Wi-Fi if it has
Wi-Fi.
a faster speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then this way at 1 a.m. it'll run the software update overnight
Okay.
for you. So by the time you get up the next morning, everything's ready to go.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Some fun features also, you can actually drag down these options. So you can put that in the bottom screen.
Okay.
Your
So that's a rear view
cam,
camera.
high
Oh,
def.
nice. My Prius has a rear view camera, but somehow they don't allow it to have access it when it's
It's
running. And
correct.
sometimes it's like, why not?
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to
there.
be able to see it if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like, night and thing, then instead of this, I would rather see
Right,
this,
right. Exactly. So it does give you that capability that you can
Definitely.
actually keep that on.
Very good.
Let's see here. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, so let's-
yeah,
we can-
we'll get the drive going and
Okay.
have some fun. And any other questions?
No, sure. Can we just have the rear view camera here, rear view camera and the
And the
GPS?
GPS? Yeah, sure. That rear view camera, what's going to happen is it'll definitely sync when you're actually reversing,
Okay.
which your gear here is your basic reverse up,
Okay.
drive is down. And then also, did you check out the autopilot feature the last time?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. But we would like to try that.
Okay,
too
sure.
Now too, if
So
we can.
again, that is your bottom lever.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Which when you push
Tap
that
up.
towards you one
Oh, toward
time,
me one time,
it's
okay.
adaptive cruise. Two
Okay.
times is autopilot.
I see. Okay.
In order to disable it, you can give a good shake on the wheel, and it
Okay.
will also disengage it,
Okay.
as well as also when you hit your foot on the brake.
Okay. Okay.
Again, autopilot is an auto assist, so it's not 100% autonomous.
Oh, yeah.
And but it's actually, it's so
It's
much
pretty good.
more keen and improved as far as its capabilities for lane recognition and for also taking turns and bends. It doesn't still yet do hard turns, 90-degree angles,
Oh, really?
no red lights,
Okay.
and also pedestrians
Okay.
and stop
okay.
signs. So once you buckle up, we'll be ready to go, and your gear to reverse is downwards. As you
Okay.
can hear, the car has a really nice sound, but it's not noisy at all.
Oh, this is awesome. Like completely quiet.
Yeah, it's a
Pin drop
really nice
silence.
drive.
Yes.
It allows you to hear each other talking. Also, the
Yeah,
Bluetooth connectivity is crystal clear.
Oh, okay.
So you can have really good phone conversations in the car
Uh-huh.
and never have to take a right.
Okay.
Never have to pick up your handheld device.
Oh, okay.
So it allows for safety and driving as well as if you need to pick up a phone
Right,
call.
Right, right. So last time, I'm not a very aggressive driver.
Mm-hmm.
So last time we did do some testing for the ludicrous mode.
Sure, sure.
And if this time we can do that, that will be nice too. But I won't be pushing it to its limit. I will be.
A left-hand side here. You know what? We totally would take advantage of that. Although this is not a P90 model,
Oh.
so that option is only available on P90.
Oh, okay.
When
that's
you're
fine.
looking at a 75 battery,
I see.
it gives you
This thing?
straight ahead. Yep, and we're gonna
Okay.
get right in the middle lane.
Okay. All right. In middle lane.
Yep, and we're gonna come to this light, and then we'll go through this intersection.
Okay. I can totally feel the car breaking down when
Yes.
I release the accelerator pedal. Like, see, now
Yeah.
I left it and it is.
So you can see how it's a really nice feature once you get accustomed to the timing of letting off your foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in the performance model, which is the P90D,
Mm-hmm.
that battery capacity is needed so that you are able to launch it at that ludicrous speed of 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds.
Okay.
It's been retested for 2.6 seconds.
Uh-huh.
I'm in a 75 battery. You're still getting.
I'm going to leave it now.
Yep. No, you're in the right lane. Yeah,
Okay,
we're
no.
going to make a left.
Okay, now I'm just going to leave the pedal. So
Oh,
it just comes
sure,
to stop,
sure.
as you can see. And it's slowly creeping forward. But it definitely deaccelerated pretty fast.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
And, no, you're fine. And that was on a standard setting. So that's an option
okay.
that, as a driver, you can put it on a low setting if you don't like the standard setting.
Okay. And if I were to take the creep mode off, it would come to a complete stop.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So, say for example, if right now, if you were to let off your foot off of the accelerator, it's going to kind of roll.
Slowly roll,
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Okay. This is so nice and quiet. It's like, it's just,
It's a really enjoyable ride.
yeah. I mean, I can't wait for all cars on the road to be electric. Everything will be quiet and everything will be so not polluted.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a win-win for everybody.
You can have a house within 50 feet of freeway and still breathe clean air.
That's exactly it. Yeah. So even in a non-performance Model S, still instantaneous torque.
Oh yeah.
So we'll test that out on the highway. So you could really hit the accelerator and see the rate of acceleration is still pretty heightened, even if it's not a sport model.
Yeah. Man, I love this car.
Yeah, the trajectory is that now they have Model 3. Now they're introducing some more creative options for entry-level price points.
Okay.
So right now, the Model S in particular, this model, you can start looking at a configuration at $66,000.
Okay.
In the U.S., it's a $7,500 federal tax credit you get for EV ownership. And then also in the state of PA, it's a $2,000 rebate when you purchase the car.
Oh, is it?
It's not available for lease.
Okay.
A lot of people are also unaware that Tesla Motors also does trade-in options now. So you can trade in vehicles.
Okay.
And depending on which state you live in, some of the state incentives are better. So wherever you can take a better incentive.
Nice.
In New Jersey, they don't pay sales tax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. It would be really interesting to see how long the car lasts, because all the machinery is so simple.
Correct.
Electric motor is probably one of the most sturdiest machines you can build, because your ceiling fans they go on for decades.
Right, exactly.
So,
how often do you replace those types of things? Yeah, not often. Right.
Yeah. So if the electronics and the battery holds on, then you should have no problem keeping the car running for 20 years.
Right.
Is that it?
I'm not quite sure if that's behind us or
Yes, that is behind us.
Okay.
Let me pull over behind the check.
we're hearing sirens. See your flashers. This should be exciting for your video.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll come to a stop sign and then we're gonna go straight through the stop
sure,
sign.
sure,
No, you're
sure.
fine. You're fine. It's always this one always
It
kind of
comes up suddenly.
sneaky. Yeah.
It's a really nice driving feel. Very smooth, quiet, very responsive.
Right.
Which car do you own?
Not quite yet. I have
Not
a
quite.
Prius also.
Prius, okay.
Yeah. So it's really it's a world of difference when you're driving a Tesla compared to any other car.
I bet.
Yeah. And I often hear that with other people who come from different luxury cars too.
Okay, so we are going to try the acceleration now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man, that is nice.
this is awesome.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I feel that.
It's
Yeah.
like, very strong.
And that's only a 75 battery, so we're
That's-
not even
yeah.
looking at a performance, but you can see the instantaneous torque in that.
Oh, yeah.
So you can stay right in the middle lane for me, Kedar,
Okay.
and hit your adaptive cruise one time,
Okay.
which is the very bottom lever,
That's
Okay.
adaptive.
and so you can take your foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, I did.
And double toggle
My
that
foot
one more
is on.
time.
Double toggle?
Yep. And you'll hear ping.
Okay,
You are
now we are
now
on autopilot.
you are now on autopilot, and you can make a left turn with the auto lane change, one lane change at a time with your turn signal.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then
it
it's
changes the
turning-
lane automatically.
Yep. And then you can turn off the turn signal,
Okay.
and you can relax your hands a bit.
Okay.
And it is
My hands are off
recognizing-
the wheel.
It is recognizing your right and your left lane.
is turning.
The speed is set at 59,
Okay.
and you can see both the icons are lit up in blue.
Nice. Can
So
you
it's
see my
probably
hands
gonna
off
pick
the?
middle lane right here, just because of this way the
Four.
lane is breaking up.
Okay.
We can make another left lane change,
Okay.
so you can make a left turn signal again,
Okay.
and you'll have to turn on your turn signal.
Okay. The car.
Yeah.
Let the car go.
Oh, sure.
Or will it recognize?
It would recognize that car. It wouldn't go until it actually has recognition that it's able to make a
So
left lane
I just
turn.
made a left turn signal and the car recognized.
And you can take it off at the turn signal.
Okay.
And you're going to come around to this bend. So now you're going to want to reduce your speed with your lever down very to 35.
Oh,
Whoops.
okay.
Yeah. So with that adaptive cruise, so you're
Uh-huh.
still now, whoops. And
Sorry, I just-
No, you're fine. You're fine. Actually,
It would not have taken this bend, I suppose, or would it?
it would take the bend.
Oh, it
What you
would?
want to do is want to set your speed down to 35.
Okay. Can I set it now again on autopilot?
Actually, you are able to set it now into autopilot feature.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and set that now into autopilot.
Okay. Now we are on autopilot again.
To override the speed at 40, you can hit your foot on the accelerator,
Okay.
and you're increasing your speed. Do you want to continue to merge so you can turn left?
Okay. Oh, sorry.
You're
Actually,
fine.
press the same lever again now. Okay. So now let's try it. It's at 58. Double. Okay.
Okay. We're going to
Why
stay in
does-
this lane.
Why did it stop?
We're going to stay in this lane. It's still an autopilot feature. What it's
Okay.
doing is it's set at 35 based on the speed limit at 45. Although we can stay right in this lane.
Okay.
So we're going to stay in this lane.
Okay, but I need to increase the speed, right?
You can increase the speed. Well, in this instance, I would continue to stay at 35. What's going to happen is we're going to come to a complete stop.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to allow the car to stay at 35, and based upon these traffic conditions where there's a car in front of us and we're going to come to a complete stop at this intersection,
Oh, really?
you don't hit your foot on the brake.
No, no,
Don't
no.
hit your foot on the brake.
Oh, I have not hit brake. It has completely come to stop.
This is an autopilot feature
Mm-hmm.
that allows for you to come to a complete stop.
It's scary almost,
Yeah, your first time doing the autopilot when you're in a local traffic driving situation like this,
So will it start?
it will
Oh,
continue
it
to
will
start. You can see
Oh, it has started
You-
again. I'm not. My foot is at the back. and my
You
hands
as
are
a
off.
Tesla driver, you'll want to start to get accustomed to looking at the road conditions here.
Oh,
This is the
okay.
car driving in real time.
Oh wow, okay.
So at this
So
point,
my foot is off, my hands are off, and
so
the
at
car
this
is
point, it's
completely
following the lanes. You
Okay.
can see a left and a right lane
driving.
lit up.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
okay, so it wants to prompt you to hold on to the steering wheel,
Okay.
and you can just rest your hands on the steering wheel.
Okay.
It wants you to come in contact just knowing that the lanes are getting a little bit gray.
Okay.
In this next intersection, we're going to make a left.
Okay. So make
So
a
you
left.
have to turn, yeah. You'll have to turn here.
Okay.
Whoops, and you'll have to take it off of the
Oh,
steering.
okay.
You'll have to take it off of the autopilot in these instances where you're making a turn like this.
Ah, I see.
It's not equipped to still yet make its own drive and turn
Okay.
on a left turn like this.
I see. I see.
So as you're driving more in your Tesla, you'll get more accustomed to the sensor sensitivity when you can and can't take it. When you can put it on autopilot, you
Uh-huh.
can get in the left lane here.
Okay.
It's a little bit tricky to explain autopilot sometimes and when there's a lot of traffic, but you can see how it can
Right. Oh, it can handle
work.
it very well.
Right,
Yes.
right. As
Yes.
any Tesla owner
Mhm.
gets more accustomed to it, you can get very confident
Uh-huh.
of the autopilot. But at the same time,
Mhm.
you know, for every Tesla owner, we want you to still be very active and engaged with your drive.
Mhm. You know, it's like not too far back.
Mm-hmm.
There were movies about a ghost driving a car. You know, when a car
Right.
drives, just like some kind of ghost, and we are now like almost
it's,
there.
It's presently, yeah, in that time exactly where,
Uh-huh.
you know, the cars are much more capable.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned in your earlier comment, that it is interacting with you,
Mm-hmm.
that you're not the only one initiating the contact
Exactly.
for the car to operate.
Exactly.
It's operating with you as well and prompting you and communicating to you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to want to park the car between two vehicles,
Okay.
and the car will do the 3-point turn.
Okay.
So we want to park in between two vehicles, and ideally when you want it to put into auto park,
Mhm.
you want to drive about 2 feet away from the side that you want to park, either
Okay.
the right or the left. You want to kind of drive in a very slow manner, so
Okay.
a little bit kind of in a creep mode where
Uh-huh.
you're just kind of inching past the cars.
Okay.
And actually, let's try past this Acura. You want the sense, okay, you can stop.
Uh-huh.
And if you see quickly down here on your dash
See,
at the
there is
steering
a
wheel,
dash.
there's a gray
There's a P
P.
parking here.
That signals for auto park recognition.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment you take your lever, which is your parking, into reverse,
Parking to reverse.
reverse.
So.
Yep,
put it-
you can go into reverse. Keep your foot on the brake,
Okay. Okay.
and you're going to see the monitor now change into an auto park
Okay.
ready feature. So the moment you hit your foot on, you hit the start button and you take your foot off of the brake, it will go into auto park.
Okay.
And then we'll hit the start button and you take your foot off of the park.
Foot off the brake, and it is going to park itself.
Okay.
My foot and hand, everything is off.
So it wants to park between the Acura and that SUV, the
You
Toyota.
can see it is going to. The wheel is turning.
You can even see the mirrors will adjust themselves as if you were
Oh, really?
adjusting. If you see the mirrors,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and you can see exactly where your car wants to
Yeah.
park itself.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice.
And it's really a peculiar thing. If your Tesla feels like it's not quite straight enough,
Uh-huh.
it will actually attempt to repark itself, to straighten itself out.
Wow, the car has
Yeah.
more manners than.
Absolutely, than the average driver where he or she may park crooked and they just leave the car.
Yeah, like one wheel and the other.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Awesome.
So that's the auto park feature, which is pretty impressive.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So,
Yep. So
Is that?
yeah,
it?
that ends our
Okay.
test drive,
That
and
is-
I hope I was able to answer a lot of your questions.
I think you did, and I think you
Okay.
did a great job explaining
Great.
us everything, like the usability aspects. So I think this was a great review and great test drive.
Okay, wonderful. I'm
Thank you
glad.
very much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. I'm glad I got a chance to be part of this. Thank
Bye.
you.
The users get out of the car. You can see the car is going to completely power itself off. All the lights gone and all the handles and the mirrors, they will retract, and so the car is, yep, handles gone, mirrors gone. So
Your car is secure and locked.
and the car is secure and locked and turned off.